Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third day of the Inspiring Change Conference. The theme of our conference is still crushing the status quo, and tonight we are going to be discussing crushing the status quo through personal branding. I mean, day one was so amazing. Day two, like everyone who um, came online and was live with us via the stream, said it is business class 101. Tonight is another night, and I want you to stay glued with us. Ensure that you have an uninterrupted internet access. Ensure that you have a pen and a memo pad or a jotter. Ensure that you have a space that you've created for yourself so that there will be minimal interruption. Okay, my guest is on standby. She's ready tonight. Her name is Florence San. She is the COO and the lead brand strategist at Ren San & Co. I'm going to go on a short commercial break and I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Share this stream. Share it with your friends. Invite someone to come online. We are about to crush the status quo and there's nothing stopping us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Sunmbo Adeoye, and I want to ask you, are you ready for the most inspiring meeting of this quarter? It's the 8th edition of the annual Inspiring Change Conference with myself and a host of all other leading female entrepreneurs. This year features speakers like Lady Onyeka Owenu, Temi Ajibewa, Folakemi Aya Akoni, Ask Downs, and of course a host of all others. You don't want to be given the summary to crushing the status quo in 2021. Register and take a front seat to relevance in your business, ministry, and career. Time is 10 a.m. at the Wisdom Arena. Lest I forget, admission is free. Mask up and be there.
Yeah, mask up and be there. Ensure that you don't miss the grand finale of this conference that is going to be coming up on Saturday, March 13th, 2021 by 10 a.m. We're going to be having Onyeka Owenu, Ask Dams, Temi Ajibewa. We're going to be having Folakemi Ayakoni. I'm going to be there as well. And like I said, it's still the Inspiring Change Conference 2021. This is the 8th edition. We started since Monday, and today is day 3. My guest is on standby. I'm going to be bringing her in shortly. Before I do that, let me quickly just give you an overview of who she is. Florence San is recognized as a high qualified and experienced brand strategist. She is passionate about making a difference in SMEs and people's lives. I experience cuts across human resources, brand management, risk analysis, business expansion, projects management, and strategy for multinationals and locals, such as the federal government of Nigeria. And we're blessed to have such a phenomenal woman join us tonight. Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
And it's so nice to have you on my platform tonight. And I believe that God is going to do something phenomenal. I would require that you use your headset so that the noise in the background can be minimal. Okay, while my guest is getting ready with the sound, we're going to take this short commercial break and then we will be back. Welcome back. I kind of like the sound of that jingle. So every time it's playing, I'm here just rocking and rocking and rocking away. So I want to ask that you please share the stream, share with your friends on Facebook, create a watch party, share it to all the groups that you belong, change someone's life, somebody's destiny, help somebody grow physically, help somebody grow in the business, help someone grow in their career. We are crushing the status quo. And then I don't want us to hide this from our loved ones, our fellow friends. So ensure that you call someone to come online and subscribe to this channel because the Inspiring Change Conference 8 is about to begin. Like I said, we have Florence San in the building. She's backstage already. And tonight we're going to be discussing crushing the status quo intentionally through personal branding. Crushing the status quo through personal branding. Do you need this? Do you know someone who needs this? This is the time you need to reach out to them and ask them to come online and join us in this live stream. Inspiring Change 2021. And my name is Sunmbo Adeoye. My guest is coming in shortly. She's going to be discussing with me tonight, and I'm sure that God Almighty is set to do great and mighty things through us tonight. Florence Sen, like I said, is a brand strategist. She has a wide range of skills such as leadership, branding, strategy, and speaking, and she was recognized by Boris Johnson, that's the Prime Minister and Mayor of London, as a remarkable peer mentoring with our work with the students of Bishop Justice Church of England. That's the school. Florence is best known for her passion for helping people. And then she is a brand strategist, like I said. She also engages in charity work. Outside of business and career, Florence is passionate about helping people, and she is an advocate against child sexual exploitation and child early forced marriage. And she also worked with Girl Not Bride in the past, and she still works closely with a small scale charity in Nigeria named Cephas. Okay, Florence is on standby. Let's roll the drums and bring in my guest to discuss crushing the status quo through personal branding. Hi, Florence.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
It is better. I can hear you, and you look amazing. You look so good.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I don't usually use headphones, so okay. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, if you don't feel comfortable with the headphones, you can take it off. I mean,
no,
we
it's
should
fine.
be able to manage the sound.
It's just, as long as the sound is okay and everyone can hear me, it's fine.
Yes, we can hear you.
That's totally fine. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Florence San, as Mrs. Sunmbo has just said. It's such an honor to be here with you guys tonight.
Such an honor to have you.
Just a little bit about myself. I'm a strategy consultant, and essentially what I do is that I help brands, I help individuals. I work in an advisory capacity. I risk assess ideas, and I work very closely behind the scenes to get people to where they want to be. So I'm that little voice, behind your ears or in your ears telling you this is the way to go, turn this way,
Exactly.
There's danger ahead. And we also risk assess plans. We take your idea and we bring it to life through rigorous execution processes. So my job entails different things. So tonight I'm just going to talk about a few things as to breaking the status quo and how personal imaging branding really helps in doing that. First of all, I want to start off by saying that it's very important that in this age that we're living in, that you are your best asset, and that you can't promote or present yourself better than it. No one else can do it for you, essentially. So it's very important that you're able to present yourself and put yourself out there in the best light that you possibly can. Now, one of the ways in doing that is to first understand that you yourself, you're a brand. a lot of us don't see ourselves as brands. We feel like a brand is supposed to be is reserved or left for other people, and that's not entirely the case. So I think that it's important to first of all identify and know that I am by myself, I'm a brand. So even before you become big, you have to start acting big in the sense of your character, in the sense of how you present yourself. So just a quick few things that you can do to sort of present yourself and put your best foot forward. Okay, let's talk about how important a name is. Sometimes if someone describes GTB Bank without saying GTB, they can say, oh, they have Orange, or they have this show, or they do ads here, or they have multiple. You can remember that, okay, yes, that's true, right? That, GTB has this color, GTB has this, GTB has that. And you instantly remember that, okay, it's GTB before somebody has said the name. So first things first, what you do precedes and can give you a name or can make you more memorable. So it's very important that you realize that your actions can impact you being a brand. It's not enough to say I'm a brand and my best asset. You have to act like you're your best asset. You have to act like your reputation is important even before you become something. So, as we're breaking the status quo, as we're trying to do more with our lives, we're trying to become a woman of impact, a man of impact, whatever we're trying to do, you are your best asset. But if you don't act like you're your best asset, you're not going to, if you don't see it, you're not going to act it. So first things first, change how you see yourself. It doesn't matter what's happened to you. It doesn't matter what your story is. It doesn't matter where you've come from or the internal conflicts or the external conflicts that you're facing. You are important. And before anyone else can qualify or tell you that you're important, you have to see yourself as important. And one of the dangers of waiting for people to qualify you as important or as an asset is that you're always going to need validation. And sometimes when you're trying to break out of the status quo, you're not going to get any validation. You're not going to get an applause. So it's very important that you act decisively. So let's talk about how we can act decisively in the 21st century, in 2021. First things first,
Before you go further, I just want to pause you a little bit. Oh my God. I already told them, I said, your session is a class, is a master class on its own. Florence, I have seen the things you have done for people and I've seen them blow up. I mean, you also, I consulted you in 2018 when I was writing my first book. And as we were speaking during the week, I told you, I said, everything you said and I did, I obeyed them, actually worked. I mean, you are phenomenal. And while you were speaking, somebody said, wow, I've always thought brands were just names, commodities or products, that she never really knew that brands are like, you are your own brand. So your name matter. Florence, I want to ask you, how important is it for people to get their email address correct? Do you think an email address is also very important for people, or people who spell their names some kind of way? For Lakemi, you now spell it, instead of Folakemi, you now spell it as PHOLK or whatever, trying to sound woke or trying to add a little bit of finesse, and then your email address sounds like folakesexyb@gmail.com. Can you please tell us the disservice such kind of thing is doing to your personal brand?
I think that it's important. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that it's important to realize that whatever you put out there is how you're going to be received. If you want to be taken seriously, then present yourself as serious. Put your best foot forward. I've seen a lot of weird emails, and sometimes even when I'm recruiting or helping a client recruit, it's a determining factor, because I'm like, you're not a serious person, and I'm looking for someone serious. So it is very important that everything that I said to a client in January, that you need to go and change all your names on Instagram, Facebook. There needs to be a consistency. On LinkedIn, if your name is Florence San on LinkedIn, it should be the same on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Gmail. It should be easy to know who you are, because that's also a form of branding. That's also a form of presenting yourself, because consistency is key. One key principle that I live by is that enemy, the if you want to do well, if you want to make an impact and you want to have a clear message you're passing on to people, confusion is the enemy. And if you're trying to make sales, for those that are business owners here, entrepreneurs, and you're just trying to, close deals, if you're confusing people about who you are, and one day you are, Beams 22, the next day you are Dr. Beams, tomorrow you are, you're always just changing your name, you're always changing your bio, you're always just coming up with different things. People are confused. And when people are confused, we can't buy into what you're doing. There needs to be clarity first within you before you try to sell anything to anyone, because there's going to be such a huge disconnect. So
now, let's talk about this. Those who use their business platform, especially Instagram page, they use it as if they are the ones, like, for example, you want to go on Insta blog or a gossip blog to go put a comment about someone, and then you're there using your business name to throw to throw stones at people. What kind of disservice are you doing to yourself when you do such a thing, or to your business?
A huge one, a huge disservice, a huge one. I think it's important that people realize that you can't do that. First
you
of all,
to separate yourself from your business.
From your business. You, even if you have something to say, because some people use it, some Instagram coaches advertise that it's strategic positioning and that you should go and comment on trending matters so that people can see your brilliance and see your smartness, and then people will follow you
with your business name.
I don't think you should be doing that. Yeah, I don't think you should be doing that. I think that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be found in a gossip blog, being so opinionated. Maybe once in a while you can really lend your voice to a cause or to a situation. And but even when you do that, it should be with tact. It should be done with wisdom. Don't just go out there. And one thing, the internet never forgets.
That's it.
So even if it's deleted, even if there's 20,000 comments, someone somewhere has seen that you said that, and you don't know where it's going to come out. In the future. So you have to be super deliberate and intentional in what you put out online.
Florence, you are a brand strategist and you offer this as a service. Now in Africa, let me talk about Africa, because this is where I live, and I live in Nigeria. It is hard for people to pay for service. People can pay for the things they touch, what they feel, what they can taste, what they can see. It's easy for them to pay for it. Like you want to buy designer shoes, you can see the shoe, you can feel it, good quality. But when it comes to service, people find it so hard to put the money down. They're like, do I really need a brand strategist? How do you even market yourself to the point where people accept it, that they need you and they're ready to pay you?
Okay, I'll give 3 key answers. There's loads of things that I can say, but because of time, I think I will use a principle from the Bible. We look at the life of Queen Esther, Adasa, and you see that she was not necessarily ready. When Mordecai said to her that you were called for such a time as this, and she didn't want to go, and she didn't want to step into that responsibility. I'll say first things first is that you have to have good counsel around you. No matter what you want to do in life, you always need to have someone that can go before you and has gone before you, and that can say, this is the way, don't do this. And when you meet those sort of people, it's not an aggressive, they're not aggressive with you. They'll give you an option. Yes. So when you're looking and trying to pick that person that will guide you along the way, it could be Mrs. Sunmbo as a mentor. She's achieved so many great things. And, no one can lead you beyond where they haven't led themselves. That's a key principle that we need to apply when we're choosing people to guide us. I can't lead someone into making 1 million naira when I myself haven't made or tasted 1 million naira. If I want to tell you that you will make 10,000 pounds, in 3 months, but I never did that. I can't, it, no matter what I do, it's going to come off so desperate. But then the counsel you have around you, it restricts you and it guides you, puts an edge around you, and it protects you. So that's number one, have the right counsel. Number two, I would say in terms of trying to be believable, when you have the right counsel, what it does is it creates accountability for you, and it creates a structure around you. Number two, I would say in how I got to the point where people could believe me was I was accountable professionally in what I was doing. I had credibility. I had people that could say Florence has done this. I have a client that can say in 90 days Florence made us 20 million naira. And I was willing to prove myself over and over again. So number two, don't feel like you're going to ever outgrow proving that you are who you say you are. It's a continuous lifetime of trying to put your best foot forward. That's why you can't just put your best foot forward today and then tomorrow you're like, let me just do anyhow. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work. You see, I see this play out very well in people who are intentional. You see some kind of news is about to come out about them, and then the next thing is they have killed the news. Is that also part of brand strategies? Is that
Yes,
part
I
of your
think
work, or can you tell us
yes.
how that plays out? Is it something you just suddenly call up someone they know and say, mop it up, or change the narrative? Something is out there about to spoil my personality and all of that. Or
I
is it
think it's
something they had planned?
sometimes they can be aware that something is about to come out, and what happens is that there's a conversation again, which again links into having the right team around you, and which goes back into you have to be willing to pay for the right team. Don't wait till you're the great before you start having the right team around you. Before Bill Gates was Bill Gates, before the Obamas became the Obamas, there was a groundwork that they've been doing for many years that nobody saw. So actually, the work that you do that nobody sees is actually the most important, because it's what sets you up for a lifetime of success and a lifetime of achieving more. So when it comes to image mopping and changing your narrative, if you've had a bad past, because we've all come from somewhere,
Yes.
and there's been things about you online that you don't want it to be there. It takes intentionality in doing it, and you
Yes.
can't just pay bloggers and then just try to rechange it. It takes a long time of consistently putting yourself in the light that you want people to see you
To
in.
see.
Don't just, I see a lot of people trying to just put nice pictures out, just pay bloggers, no, let the work qualify you and present you. The Bible talks about that your gift will make room for you
For
and will
you.
bring you back. So even if your narrative was bad, that's fine. You now work on being the good message, be the right word. And as you consistently do that, also get a team around you, PR, advisors, lawyers. So because sometimes you need to go to a blogger and tell them delete that. Your lawyers
Yeah.
will just write them. Who wants to get sued? But if it's not a
Nobody?
correct lawyer, exactly. Before you put a blog post out in 2 minutes, there's a template that's been sent to
Yeah.
them that you need to
Yeah.
delete that right now. You're damaging my reputation,
Did you see
And
what happened with the Queen? She put out
yes,
that's PR. That means that's
that's
excellent.
PR.
Something is going
Everybody
on and
thought that
trying
she
to
wasn't going
change,
to respond.
but she did through the
She did
PR.
because
And that's
image is
excellent. Image
important.
matter. Honestly,
Image
there's
is
somebody who is watching tonight and who thinks, oh, all this brand strategy thing they're talking about is for celebrities. What do you have for such a person?
honestly, branding. People say it's packaging. I don't want packaging. Packaging is too. You are your best asset. And if you are your best asset, you will treat yourself as your best asset. That gold that I don't wear every day, I put it somewhere. I put it in a nice safe. That
Yes.
dress, I don't just stop. So if you treat yourself as something gold, you will surround it with things that confirm that it is quality.
It is
So
quality.
you are quality and you are important. So don't wait till you're great. It's not for celebrities, because before a celebrity became celebrity, there was groundwork that they were doing, and it
Yes.
was the team that was helping them get there. Inspiring Change, the eighth edition, has gotten to where it is today because of the groundwork. It's been
Yes.
7 years of consistency of doing this. stage by stage, and it's going from glory to glory to glory.
Amen.
And but
Amen.
imagine if she never did it in the
Mm,
beginning and
mm,
she let the standard drop each time.
mm.
She has treated inspiring changes and it's going to keep growing global. Who knows? Maybe the
Amen.
10th edition will go to Dubai, will go to London, will tour, but at least
Amen.
there's
Florence just
history.
said it.
But there's history of seven, of not 1 years, of not 2 years, of not, so you have to be patient and you have to actually have the mindset that I am something worth guarding and protecting
Yes,
and presenting in the right way.
that's the word. We have a question from one of our listeners because our time is about to go. I would like you to take this. This person says, how do you separate your personal brand from your business brand? How do
Okay,
you
how
separate
do you?
the two?
Okay, personal brand is who you are. Okay,
Mm,
it's your essence, it's your character. It's deciding that, okay, if you as a person are known to be, you get angry very quickly. In business branding, you can't be an angry person that gets angry quickly. You can't get riled up
true,
quickly. You have to
true.
have thick skin. So, separating personal from business is knowing that business is business and I'm not there for myself. And I think that's the
Mm,
disconnect. People always want to put themselves in their business because they feel like it's like them. But when you give birth to a child, the child is not you now. It
mhm.
has a
You
life of its
named
own.
the
It has a
child.
mind
Yes.
of its own. So
Mhm.
you have to treat your business like a character. I usually ask clients, I say, okay, define the characteristics of the type of business you want. And every time you want to do something for your business, make sure it's not in your own character. Make sure it's the business
Mm,
characteristics.
character. Mm.
Character confirms what you are doing. I can't say I'm an expert, but then you ask me to define something, and I'm like, eh, I, 1 second, I'm coming. I mean, no, I
Mm.
don't know everything, but I should be
Mhm.
able to, on my areas of expertise, I should be able to. So,
So
in
it is
terms of,
safe to say separate your personal brand from your business brand by having core values that specifically speaks for your business, shine through that business. And
yes,
then your own character can shine through you. Trying
yes,
to bring out your character from your business is not the right way, right?
no, don't
Somebody
let
said,
people
very true.
don't let people I find that in business there's been a lot going on social, especially in a digitalized age. You're being watched. People may not
Mm,
say anything in the moment, but you're being watched. And you can't, I think, separate your personal brand from your business brand is very important, especially if you're a product-based business. Try
mhm,
to have a brand that has a life of its own. Don't always try to insert yourself and use yourself to promote everything.
mm,
Get influencers,
mm,
um, pay for ads on Instagram. Let it be
mm.
able to have a life that is outside of you so
Of
that in the day
you.
that you're not feeling well, you can take a break and know that your business will run on its own. This is where structures and accountability and having a team comes into play. And that's why you have to pay for the best ones, because whatever you try to cut corners for, it's going to falter.
Clarence, I want to say this is entering so deeply. That is how I get whenever I'm sitting at your desk trying to get you to, advise me on the way forward. Thank you so much, Florence, for pouring so much out in such a short time. We have another question. This person says, how do you brand yourself as an employee?
Okay, can we talk about? Let me use the person that asks, says, chill for fun. How do you brand yourself as an employee? First things first, have the right name on every platform. Okay,
Mm,
and be good at what you're doing. Put
mm,
your best foot. I think my message today has been entirely clear. And in terms of crushing the status quo, and we find that I'm not really taught on how specifically, but I feel like if you apply this principle, put your best foot forward, be intentional. Don't put the wrong things out there online because the internet
don't
will
put the wrong
remember.
things
As
out. Mm,
regarding her question, branding yourself as an employee, I find that a lot of employees going with the mindset that it's not my own business. I'm just here to
mm,
get paid. And then you do
mm,
the bare minimum. That's not
mm.
the way of Christ. Even as believers, we are to be a light
Of
wherever we
Christ for the
are.
world. Yes.
Yes. And even if you are a light for just a year or 6 months, you will always be remembered. And I have a principle. If I'm going to be a cleaner right now and clean something, I'm going to try and be the best cleaner that I can be in that
Mm,
moment,
mm,
right? I may not enjoy cleaning, but now that it's my responsibility, the Bible says we should do as occasion demands. So wherever
mhm.
occasion finds you, apply yourself and do it well. That in itself is personal branding.
Oh my
Doing
God,
good
Florence is
work.
getting really hot. Let's take a commercial break for 1 minute, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sunmbo Adeoye, and I want to ask you, are you ready for the most inspiring meeting of this quarter? It's the 8th edition of the annual Inspiring Change Conference with myself and a host of all other leading female entrepreneurs. This year features speakers like Lady Onyeka Owenu, Temi Ajibewa, Folakemi Aya Akoni, Ask Downs, and of course a host of all others. You don't want to be given the summary to Crushing the Status Quo in 2021. Register and take a front seat to relevance in your business, ministry, and career. Time is 10 a.m. at the Wisdom Arena. Lest I forget, admission is free. Mask up and be there.
So yes, we still have Florence in. Okay, she's still right here with us. This is Crushing the Status Quo Intentionally Through Personal Branding. And my guest, my special guest, all the way from the UK, is Florence San. Florence has been dropping it hot. So if you're just joining us, you need to go back and watch a rebroadcast of this particular edition. Florence, thank you so much for sharing so much. I know how much you charge, so thank you so much for this. I mean, this one, like a lot of comments out there, people are saying, this is deep. Someone is putting out flames, fire. But we have somebody says, bam. Someone says, good stuff. Another person says, awesome stuff. Now you said something. You said, don't put the wrong things on the internet. Be intentional because the internet never forgets. You also said we should try as much as possible to be the light of Christ to the world on every platform. Someone said that hits the right spot. I'll shine my light more brightly going forward. We have a question here. How do you rebuild your brand confidence? I think this is a necessary one, yes. How do you rebuild? Like the internet never forgets. So what do you do?
Okay, first things first, make sure that you started doing good work. I can't emphasize this enough. Start putting your best foot forward. I know it sounds like it's repetitive and I'm saying, but these are timeless principles that if applied can genuinely yield really great results. So number one, be doing great work now. Number two, believe and remember that what happened then has happened and that's it. You can't rewrite history. The power that you have now is that you can change the future, and you change the future by deliberate steps, deliberate action. Okay, number three, I'd say get the right team. You need advisors. You need advisors. You need, it's so funny. We took a look at Esther in the Bible. I know I'm bringing Esther. When Haman wanted to, hang Mordecai and everything. There was a book of remembrance that the king
had to ask them to go open.
To open.
Did we remember this person that did good for the king?
Exactly. Yeah. There was the work that he had done. So what people try to do when they want to rebuild their brand image or their confidence, they rush and quickly try and do good things. They try and do good things and then they put the good things out. It has to be over time.
And it must be consistent.
And it has to be consistent. Mordecai was remembered. I've been years, and do you understand? Like he was remembered. So sometimes you will not see the results. Rebuilding takes time. Let's look at Nehemiah. It takes time to rebuild. Let's just be honest. I look at professionally people that I've worked with. I mean, I worked with Toke Makinwa, I worked with the administration, I worked with so many different people. And what people don't see is what goes on behind the scene, the late hours, the crying, the tears. Let your work speak for you. So that's one step. Be consistent. 1 year, 2 year. Don't be in a rush. Go and pay PR. And another thing is you have to be strategic. Don't just think that one PR is enough. And another thing is don't be afraid to share the good work that you are doing. I find that when your confidence has been knocked, there's a fear and there's an anxiety in putting out what you are doing. What will people say? How can I go from this to that? When they say that she's for me, she's pretending. People will always think something. People will always have something to say. You owe it to yourself to keep going, to keep putting yourself out there. So
I think what you just said now is going to heal a lot of people. You know, in Africa, we are taught that when your light shines, cover it. So that the enemy will not come and steal your light. But the Bible says, let your light shine. Let it shine. We are like a city that is set on a hill that cannot be hidden. So it is the good works that we've done that will shine through. So be consistent. It takes time for you to rebuild the ruins, but you can and you will in the name of Jesus. Florence, we can go on and on. Someone says be strategic. Don't think that one PR is enough. PR costs money.
It costs money, exactly. It costs money, yeah. So just at the back of what you've just said, I think it's also important to remember that no matter how long it takes, you owe it to yourself to put your best foot forward. You know, when there's darkness, no matter where the light is lit, if you put a candle, even if it's put in a corner, it will illuminate the place a little bit. So step by step, put your candle out there, put your light out there, and I'm not saying do it in a way that is noisy and it's like so destructive, it's step by step. Don't be in a rush to try to rebuild. Remember that it takes deliberate and effort, and let your work speak for you. Good work. So when you asked me a question of how did I get to the point where people could start in Africa, it's usually international Africa, KPMG, the big fours for management, they pay thousands to management. An advisor can be getting 1,000 or 1,000 pounds per hour, 800 pounds a day just to advise a company. And they're not doing any work, they're just advising.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, So I think that it's very important to remember that someone somewhere needs what you carry. Someone somewhere needs what you have. It is up to you to now bring it to them. People are not going to come and find you. Do you understand? I'm not going to need, when I need something, I go and search for it. But if I don't put it out there, nobody's going to know.
Find you.
So don't stay in your corner and think that because I'm good, people will now just come. It doesn't work that way entirely. You do good work and you make sure that you position yourself in a way that it attracts the right audience. It attracts the right people. And don't be afraid to say no to the wrong things.
That's it.
To someone out there tonight. Don't be afraid to accept a deal. In an aid to rebuilding, you are rushing to, let me take this, let me take that, let me take this. Not everything is for you when you're rebuilding. Just because something is good doesn't mean is good for you.
Good for you.
And you have to be able to dissect between the two. Not every idea is good for you. When we're talking about crushing the status quo, a lot of people, that's one of the things that hinders us from crushing the status quo, is that we want to act someone else's chapter 25. We want to apply to our own chapter 2.
Or chapter 1.
You can't run before you walk. So I think that is very important to apply these principles. Don't be afraid to say no. Good is different from godly. Good is also different from
oh my God, you're putting out so much. Oh my God. Don't be afraid to say no to the wrong things. Not every idea is good for you. A final note for that young woman, that young man who is trying to ensure that they get their personal brands right, or the person who has gotten it wrong and they would like to rebuild? What final word do you have for them? And how can they, with intentionality, put the best face of their business brand out there, or the best face of their personal brand out there?
Okay. First things first, it takes courage and strength to
Courage.
rebuild. And if you're listening to me right now, well done. You're taking one of the first steps in trying to rebuild and in trying to move beyond what's happened to you.
Mm,
Sometimes you have to remember that in trying to rebuild or to position yourself better, it's an inner work that you have to also do. So I want to applaud you, first of all, for looking for this information, for coming here tonight and trying to do right by yourself. It takes deliberate decision. So be intentional about the decisions you're making, because your decisions can make or break you. The Bible
mm,
says, choose life, narrow is the road. The Bible talks about all these instructions that we must take. So instructions will guide you in
mm,
building, in achieving more, and in positioning yourself better. So the right decision you take is a form of intentionality. And
mm,
sometimes you won't know that it's a bad decision unless you seek extra counsel. Second
mm,
thing is surround yourself with the right people, because there's some mistakes that you don't need to make, because it
mm.
take you 5 years back when somebody
Mm,
else has already made it and
make
they
the
can
mistake
redirect.
and then you, mm, oh my
Number
God.
three, I would say, is be careful what you put out on social media. Don't be found in any shady blog commenting. Don't tear people down. I live by honor. I'm a product of honor. You can't disrespect something and then expect that that same thing will find you. What you
Mm,
don't honor, you won't walk in it. And this is
mm,
not just a Christian principle, it's a science. You see someone doing something that you like, you are not sure, you are not insulting them, you are
mm,
also gossiping about them. You need to
mm,
stop all those things. You don't know
mm,
what people are sowing in tears and what they are
mm,
doing, so don't be a part of those people that are tearing others down when you yourself desire to be great one day, right?
mm,
Don't bring people down. Honor people. When you see someone doing what you would love to do one day, go to them and say, how can I support? How can I learn from you? How can I give to what you're doing? Doesn't matter, go and learn from people. And also, don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. I think people are saying, even at the stage that I am, if I don't know something, I'll say I don't know it. It's okay to not know,
mhm.
but don't be comfortable not knowing. Always seek to get more and know more. And that thing is documentation. Make the vision plain, make the vision plain, and walk by it. And it takes time. So there's so many things I can say, but I'll stop with that for
Of
tonight.
course, there is so much you can say. Florence, you have done so well for us. We were supposed to do 30 minutes. We've gone past 30 minutes by
Oh,
15 minutes,
45
and it
minutes.
doesn't even look like we've gone so far. I mean, it's been amazing having you. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for
much.
sharing. Thank you for being such a brilliant guest tonight. Thank you so much for giving everything. Someone is asking another question. I don't know if you don't mind. We can take this last
I'm
question
I'm
before we
good, yes.
wrap up. Okay, this person says, how do you position yourself in a market that is already so populated, even when you have the right team, you are consistent and so on? How do you position yourself in a saturated market?
Okay. Saturation is always going to be found where there's good things. If a
Mm,
service is necessary, there will be saturation. Look at bread. When you go and buy bread, there's so many bread down the in that category, and you see that everything gets sold, everything gets bought
instantly.
rather. Butter, the same thing. Sugar, the same thing. So you talk
Mm,
about hairstyling, nails, clothes, makeup. It's very saturated because these are necessities. These are
mhm,
essentials.
mhm.
I would say how to separate yourself when you are in a saturated place is to have a niche.
Carve
I
a
find
niche for
that
yourself.
people, yes, I find that when people are in a saturated market, they're trying to please everyone. Come from an angle that is unexpected, number one. If you cannot do that, find a solution that your competitors are not solving and
Mm.
solve it. That's number two. Another thing that you
Ah,
can do if those two things doesn't apply to you is that maybe it's time for you to change the market that you're in. That's one thing people don't like to hear, and that's one thing people don't like to say. There's room for everyone, don't get me wrong. But perhaps the budget of the competitors you're trying to compete with, you don't have it. But there might be an area that is not populated at all, and that could be where you will shine. So I also think that when it comes to saturation, I find that people try to compete with people that they have huge budgets. Do you understand? That's like trying to compete with Apple. Do you have Apple's budget? Let's start there.
That's it. You have
so
that
you always
budget.
feel like, oh, Apple is doing better than me. Apple is doing better than me. Okay, why don't you just shift from Apple and move somewhere else? Create headphones. Leave Apple to do Apple. Now, when you now succeed in that department you're in, you can come back and now try to dominate. So there are so many principles, but I find that each one is unique, and it depends on the business that you have. So if you can come into my DM and I can answer more questions if you need, just to honor everyone's time.
Oh, thank you so much, Florence. Honestly, thank you I'm saying wow. I'm hosting you and I'm saying wow. The comments are everyone is just like, wow. Can we continue till 10, please? I want more. Oh my God, you said it all. Oh, we have to bring you back. Maybe when you're in Nigeria, I'll host you for a physical meeting, and then we can now have this one-on-one time, and then we have enough time to be able to share. Thank you so much for coming to the 8th edition of the Inspiring Change Conference. I want everybody to please clap for my guest tonight. Someone says, oh my God, I love this session. I love this session. I love Florence.
Thank you guys so much. You've been so encouraging.
Someone says, I'm on my way to your DMO.
No problem, Joy. No problem.
I learned a lot. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Florence. That will be all for tonight. Let me release you so that you can go. Say bye-bye to all my all our viewers out there, and let them know how they can find you on social media.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I'm really happy that you are here, and I'm so honored to be able to be on this platform. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sunmbo. This is such an honor to share this platform with you, and to all of you listening to me right now. I believe in you, and I know there's greatness inside of you. It may take a while, but there is so much that God has in store for your life, and that I know you are going to inspire change in the world. You're going to break out of the box, the self-limitation, and you're going to do really well in life. Believe in yourself, put your best foot forward, and invest in yourself. You can connect with me on Instagram or Twitter at Florence San, and you can follow our business page, Contact RENSAN. And, I'm happy to always answer questions. So just stay in touch. God bless you all, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. God bless you. Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Oh my God, it's getting hotter by the day. I told you this is the best place to be. In the season, we are going to crush the status quo, whether the devil likes it or not. Don't forget, the grand finale of this conference is on Saturday, March 13th, 2021 by 10 a.m. This stream is going to continue tomorrow by 8 p.m. West African time. And we have another awesome guest that is going to be coming. I know a lot of you don't want us to end this particular one because we're crushing the status quo intentionally through personal branding. Tomorrow night, we're going to be crushing the status quo in another segment, and I'm sure you will love it. So please don't hide what you have learned tonight. Share it, tell someone about it, let it go viral, because someone needs this stream right now. I'm going to be back. Don't go anywhere. I'm leaving you with this little jingle.
Hello everyone, my name is Sunmbo Adeoye, and I want to ask you, are you ready for the most inspiring meeting of this quarter? It's the 8th edition of the annual Inspiring Change Conference with myself and a host of all other leading female entrepreneurs. This year features speakers like Lady Onyeka Owenu, Temi Ajibewa, Folakemi Aya Akoni, Ask Downs, and of course a host of all others. You don't want to be given the summary to crushing the status quo in 2021. Register and take a front seat to relevance in your business, ministry, and career. Time is 10 a.m. at the Wisdom Arena. Lest I forget, admission is free. Mask up and be there.
Don't forget, admission is free. If you're coming on Saturday, go to our website now and register to reserve a seat for yourself. The website is scrolling on your screen, but I want to reiterate it by saying it's www.inspiringchangeng.org. Till I come your way again tomorrow night by 8 p.m. West African time. My name is Sunmbo Adeoye, and this is Inspiring Change with Sunmbo. God bless you. Have a pleasant night, everybody. Yay!